Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Ingy Pink Pass podcast. Let me turn the volume down in my ears a little bit. Oh, that was loud. Trying a little bit something different, so I am going to take y'all along with me. And we're going to try this one more time. Welcome to the Ingy Pink broadcast. I am your host, Ingrid Pinkett, and today we are going to be talking about financial empowerment, building wealth, and financial independence. We're going to go over a little bit of financial empowerment, financial literacy, overcoming financial barriers, investment strategies, yada, 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 and much, much more. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, I want to thank our sponsor, the Ingy Pink Network. I'm sorry, the subsidiary of the Ingy Pink Network, IR Pink Professional Services. Since this is a brand new podcast, I'm going to bring y'all along as I grow this, as I do the trip mistakes, trip myself up with different things. Because I think that it's important to know that a lot of times you don't have to be perfect doing some things, but as you grow and as you get better, that all of those things start to disappear because now you know everything. I should see how I'm recording this because I was having some it's technical issues earlier. And so I have to rig up something that is very unique in order to get this podcast out to you guys. But I wanted to keep my commitment, make sure that I got the podcast out to you. And in doing so, um, just want to make sure that you guys get the best of me, but also to encourage and inspire anyone that wants to do this, that you know what, be you. Share those things that may be questionable, and hey, at least you kept your commitment to get it out to us. So enough of that. I don't want to keep going with that. I want to move forward with what we're supposed to hear, what we're really here to talk about today. So building that wealth and the financial independence. Let's talk about what that looks like. So let's understand financial empowerment. Financial empowerment is, what does that mean to you? When you think about financial empowerment, what literally does that mean? In my mind, it takes me to financial freedom. So being empowered to me means that you're going to achieve personal independence and stability. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you can go out and buy the most expensive items and run around and go on all these lavish trips and do all these things. What to me, financial empowerment means that you are able to pay all of your bills and take care of some of your wants, and that you also have something for future. Okay, for future, and then elevate it a little bit more and say that if once you leave this earth, you're going to have something for your offspring. They're not going to have to struggle with having to bury you or pay your bills or anything like that. You have all of those things covered with how you have empowered yourself financially. So, to me, that was a financial empowerment means to me. What does it mean to you? Let me know what it means to you. If you came through this through my Facebook page, can you leave me a comment down below? Let me know what that looks like to you. Also, if you're through YouTube, do that as well. Leave me a message down in the comments. Let me know what financial empowerment means to you. Financial literacy, let's discuss the importance of concepts such as budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management. Debt management specifically, I want to talk about because it's so funny. I was doing something the other day and I had my Excel spreadsheet up. So whatever it is that you use to manage your debt, put all debt there, even debt that you had before, debt that's old. Um, Take a snapshot of all of those things for yourself and know that where you are as far as your finances. Even put them nagging ugly student loans in there. Put that on your spreadsheet or whatever you use to manage your debt. Okay. That gives you an overall view of what it looks like. Okay. And these are just my suggestions, these are my opinions. Nobody has to, do this or take this or what have you. I'm just a woman on here telling you what works for me. I'm just sharing some things with you, sharing my tips and tricks and my thoughts, giving you some zoom zoom wham whams. You can take that however you need to, or don't if you don't want to. Totally up to you. Budgeting, saving, investing. Absolutely, all three of those are important. If you don't budget the money that you have coming in, how do you know that everything is getting done that needs to help you to survive in the life, in this life, the life that you have right now? How do you know if you don't know what buckets all of your money is going to? And don't forget, when you're budgeting, include a bucket for you to have fun. A lot of times we're so busy paying bills and we're dishing out money for different things and this and that, but we forget to have fun. We forget to that maybe we want to eat out once a week. And maybe that at this point right now, because you're trying to reach some goals or things like that, you have to take this moment to say, you know what, I haven't did anything for me. So I'm going to take myself out to dinner. Once a week, I'm going to take myself out to dinner, reward myself. If you're always working or you're always grinding to pay bills, to do the things for the future and things like that, and you never, ever, ever at any point take a moment to say, you know what, I want to enjoy something for me. You never take a moment to spoil yourself with all the money that you make. Shame on you. Now, there is just the opposite, that you taking too much time to take time for yourself and you're not paying your bills. So you don't have no savings account. You don't have no saving for a rainy day. All you do is just pay your bills. You don't have, and some of them you rob Peter to pay Paul. That's not healthy either. Okay, and that's not being a good steward over the finances that were given to you. So we don't want to do that either. Investing is also good. Talk to someone about how you invest your money and where. That's important. Later on in life, you may not want to take certain risks that you can take when you are younger because maybe you feel like, you know what, I have more years ahead of me than I do behind me. So I'm going to take a larger risk. If I can lose a couple of dollars here and there, I'm good with that. When you get to be a little bit more seasoned, you have more years behind you than you do in front of you. That may not be something that you want to do. You may not want to take as many risks. So being aggressive in your investment, you feel like it's not an option for you. That's not something that you want to do because if you lose a whole lot of money in your later years, then again, you put yourself in a financial bind. We want to address the common financial challenges that we face as women. I think I talked about this before in my other podcast, but we talked about like the gender pay gap. I mean, Gender pay gap. Lord, why'd I put an R in there? Gender pay gap and balancing our career breaks. So, what is a career break? A career break is having a baby. You want to take some time off, raise your family, spend time. Maybe your husband or your partner is making enough money and they're like, you know what, right now it would be beneficial to me if you come out of the career for a moment, maybe take care of the house, maybe support me in the things that I'm doing. I need you on this end and not that end. You know what I mean? So just taking a break in your career, in your grind, putting the outside things a little bit on the back burner to support your family for whatever reasons. Because a lot of times as women, a lot of those things are on us. Even if it's taking care of an ailing parent, things like that, they need 24-hour care. Sometimes you may have a break in your career and in your business, in your job, things like that. When that happens, I want you to think about how to overcome those challenges, the mental, emotional, and financial challenges that may come along with that. In addition to the gender pay gap, it is already statistically known. There's so many different things out there that let you know that men get paid a little bit more for the same or equal jobs that women do. So they get paid a little bit more. So we already know all of those statistics and all of that stuff. It's a fact. But what do you do with that barrier? How do you overcome that? How do you change your mindset to say that you still are bringing value to your financial empowerment, your financial freedom? That's a mindset. That's a change. That things that you know already are going to adjust. The money's going out or coming in that you need to make concessions for. You need to say, okay, this is where I'm going to move forward. These are the things that I'm going to do. And I already know what the consequences are financially are going to be of those. So let me put some things in place. Let me, adjust now. You have to do a little bit more planning, especially us as women. We have to do way more planning on financial uh, situations for ourselves and for our families than our male counterparts do. And sometimes they depend on us to overcome those barriers. They depend on us. If they give us their checks or their monies, our partners do. Sometimes they depend on us to say, you know what, can you go ahead and manage that? Because we know that this is going to be coming up. We know that this is going to happen. We're moving in this direction. So have your financial literacy and empowerment in check to overcome those barriers. What about investment? I mentioned that earlier. We can explore the various investment options. Be open. Include stocks, bonds, real estates, retirement accounts. How do they create a diverse investment portfolio for you? You hear financial people talk all the time about creating a diversified investment portfolio. You should have so much of revolving accounts, so many, stagnant or standard. I can't remember what the try to remember what my financial advisor says to me about the organization of my portfolio and what that should look like. But you know what you this is just an overview, so you know what I mean. You should have multiple accounts, a multiple investment accounts that make your portfolio look like you're not just focusing in one area, right? So you have a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and a little bit there. Because why? Because one thing is going to bring you something else with something else, like real estate, long-term investment. Okay. Not an immediate return. An annuity can be a more immediate return for you. Stocks can be either long time or short term, depending on how you're investing. Retirement account could be your loan account, maybe. Maybe you decide at younger you want to put a much money in there and you want to take a loan out. So as you paying off that loan, it's still, that's still your money. You're using some things, you're using that to do some other things that you need to do, and you're paying yourself back. You can do that in different ways, okay, all across the board. So make sure that your financial portfolio is diversified. Let's go ahead and take a break for a moment. A break. Broke. Lord, break for a minute. Let's talk about, let's hear from our sponsors. Unlock the potential of your business with IR Pinkett Professional Services. Step into a realm of strategic insight and unparalleled expertise as we guide you toward sustainable success. We offer comprehensive business analysis to targeted growth strategies. Our consulting firm is committed to delivering results that propel your enterprise into new heights. Join forces with IR Pinkett Professional Services and chart a course towards prosperity today. Join us, IR Pinkett Professional Services. Check us out at www.irpinkettprofessionalservices.com. Also, follow us on all of our social medias at IR Pinkett Professional Services and IR Pinkett Professional Services Official. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in today and share this moment with you. We look forward to working with you. Have a great day. And we are back. So, thank you so much, IR Pinkett Professional Services, for sponsoring today's podcast. You want to know more about them? Go ahead and look in the comments down below. They are part of the link tree. All of the Facebook and information and everything will be there for you to be able to check me out. All righty. Entrepreneurship and business ownership. What are the opportunities and challenges of starting a business, getting some funding opportunities, scalabilities, and the importance of mentorship and networking? Why are those important to you? Tell me, those that are listening that have businesses out there, those that are entrepreneurs that have multiple businesses. I myself do have multiple businesses, so I do consider myself an entrepreneur. Um, and with that, the opportunities that come with that is that I get to feed all my different passions. But not just that, there's challenges actually too of starting a brand new business. No one may know you. Um, you struggle to get customers, you struggle to for people to understand your concept or what you're passionate about and why you're passionate about it. Why should they do those things with you? So you that affects your funding, that affects your funding opportunities, scalability. Okay, so the importance of mentoring networking is to get into those arenas that you are passionate about with people that are already doing what it is that you're doing or that you want to do. Okay, so that you can one connect with the right people or connect with the people that can propel your idea or passion forward, and also get that mentorship that you need so that you can avoid some of the pitfalls of the direction that you are going and how you're doing what you're doing, because you want to avoid those. Of course, you want to be successful, and you also want to be scalable. So you want to make sure that you are being realistic in the things that you are the goals that you are laying out, the direction that you're taking your business in, and that you can meet those goals and those uh the tasks that you need to do. What do you need to, in a bigger picture, what is the bigger or the more successful businesses and entrepreneurs doing that are in the same genre as you? Salary negotiations. This is important in your career. Okay. So you want to effectively negotiate your salary because you want to have fair compensation in the workplace. Do your research. How much should you be making? Get that medium, get that scale. Where should you be on there? If you're bringing not just your degree or your or not just your experience, maybe you're bringing both. Maybe there's a difference in what you come in with as far as 5 years of experience than 15 or 10 years of experience in that same, area of your career. Maybe you're bringing experience and you're not bringing in other stuff. What are some of the benefits to ensure a fair compensation in the workplace? What are those things? Okay. So understand them, stay passionate about them, stay connected, and do your research. When we talk about salary negotiation, we're talking about entrepreneurship and business ownership, not businessship. We can't do that without talking about financial planning for the future. Think about what's going to happen after you are no longer on that job. How are you adjusting for your estate? The things that you have now, all of the whether it's an estate includes your retirement accounts, all of the like your annuities, your home that you have, your cars, all of the things that are of value that you own. So are you planning and creating a financial safety net for unforeseen circumstances for yourself and your family? How are you adjusting for that when the things that come up that you don't have any control over, right? So, how are you planning for those things? What kind of financial safety net have you planned for yourself? What do you have in your savings account that if something happens with your car, something happens with your house, maybe you need to plan for a family member, a parent, hey, I tell my children all the time, I may not be 100% healthy at all time as I get older, things like that. Maybe I need your help in different ways, right? How are we planning for that? Right? So think about that when you're thinking about financial empowerment. Think about not just as you're grinding and you're going and you're climbing either that corporate ladder, business, starting your businesses, entrepreneurship, all of that. Don't think about that. Think about when if the bottom falls out, what do you fall back on? What's the financial safety net that you have for unforeseen circumstances that may happen in your life? It might be just as much as or as easy as getting a maybe you don't have healthcare, adequate healthcare. Maybe you don't have a healthcare savings plan that's going to cover things that your um healthcare that your oh Lord, why am I drawing a break? That your um we pay for it every month. Why am I why am I drawing a blank? That's your health plan that your health plan doesn't cover. Okay. Or your hospital plan or things like that. Find out what it does cover, right? Does it cover if you need to some additional health care? That's what I'm thinking of. Healthcare. Thank you. Boy, I didn't think I would have to write that down in my notes. I would remember that part, but I guess not. Okay. Debt management. Strategies for managing and reducing debt. Remember I talked earlier about your my Excel workbook that I use. My Excel workbook helps me to manage and reduce my debt. And it also helps me to see those to prioritize high interest debt, things that I need to do to improve my credit score. What should I be paying off? What should I be getting rid of quickly and in a hurry to go ahead and improve those things in my life so that I can live a better life and be financially empowered. I can't do that just if I have it in my head and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just paying Peter to robbing Peter to pay Paul. There we go. What am I doing as far as my debt management? How am I managing these things so that everybody gets a little bit, And I want to say this, do some negotiation. If you have a lot of debt, negotiate. Call them and negotiate. Even if all you can afford for one thing is $5. Trust me, I'm going to tell you from experience. I'm going to tell you from what I know. They will take whatever it is that you can give them. I'm telling you. And I'm also going to tell you this. If you have not pulled your credit report and know what's on there, shame on you. Credit Karma is free. Get in there and pull your credit report, know what's on there. And in addition to that, concentrate on your credit report first. Concentrate on those things that anybody can pull up so that they can see what your credit worthiness is. Okay. And everything else, those are the things you need to concentrate on first. Those are the things that you absolutely need to negotiate. Everything that appears on your credit report, negotiate and make sure that you are giving each one of those attention or each one of those a couple of dollars. Everything else, yeah, if it's not on your credit report and you know that you owe it, you absolutely should pay it. But of course, the majority of the money should go on those things that are directly affecting that score that somebody can soft pull about you that can either make or break because some things can be consolidated. If you get a higher, say you have $10,000 in debt, and that's all you have on your credit report. If you have a good credit rating, you can get a $10,000 loan, pay all of that off, and you just have one thing that you're paying. And then that frees up other money so that you can pay those things that are not on your credit report for other debts that you owe. Am I making sense with that? Am I making sense? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've done it. So I'm telling you what I know. We're going to move on into once you got this money, where does this extra money coming from? Where is it coming from for you? We are talking about building multiple streams of income. What's the benefits of creating multiple streams of income? Side hustles, passive income, freelance work. What are the benefits of all of that? More money. If you have extra hours of the day, some time that you can stop scrolling on social media, watching Netflix, binging all them streaming sites. If you have some extra hours after you get off of your workday that you can give to make yourself some passive income, just think how quickly you can become financially empowered by directing that money into those buckets, right? Because remember, before that, you've already planned out everything. So you know how much you owe. You can see it at a snapshot. And sometimes with some planning, you can do things for a certain moment of time so you can create those multiple streams of income yourself or passive income. If you have an opportunity to go ahead and take some money and invest in something that's going to create you passive income, maybe you need something long term. So you decide that you're going to invest in some real estate, some income properties that you are going to rent out. You're going to Airbnb. You and your friends are going to do it. That's going to create that passive income for you. And you get that money coming in to help with some other things that you're going to do. So think about that as well. Look around and the importance of community support. Look around and just around you. See what's going on in your city, in your state, in your county. Network, leverage the available resources that are there, such as, there's might be have a financial literacy program, they might have some support groups, some other things that you can get involved in that can help you with your financial literacy and bring bring another view of what your finances look like, because you may think one thing, you may think, oh my gosh, this is so horrible, this is so much, this is a lot, I don't see how anybody can, I'm not going to be able to get out of this, I'm not going to be able to this, I'm not going to recover, I'm not going to recover. But if you look at your available resources, you start networking with different people, you start finding out some support groups, financial literacy programs, do some consolidating and things like that. The, the thing that you may find out is that you're not as bad. It's not as bad as you thought it was. And with it not being as bad as I thought it was, because you see the bigger picture, you see what other people are going through, and you say, you know what, my little bit of stuff, oh, I can take care of that. That's mine ain't that bad. I'm only $10,000 in debt. They dug themselves out $100,000. My little $10,000 is easy peasy smeezy. It's huge for me because my 10,000 looks like they're 100,000 in my world. But if they could get themselves out of 100,000, I can find out how they did that because I can cut that because all I have is 10. So I want you to think like that. Go past that. Empower yourself financially. And how is the most important way to empower yourself is with information. The more information that you have, the more that you can empower yourself. And that's in any area. I know we're talking about finances today, but the more information you have, the more empowered you will be. That is all that I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I know that I'm doing something different. And it is so funny because doing this, I so let me tell you guys, this is just a side note. So I'm gonna sidestep for a minute. So I had to put headphones on. So I wasn't getting feedback and stuff like that because I'm actually had to create the podcast in a different format. Well, with that, I can hear myself talking. So so trying to talk to you guys and understand that I can just talk regular. It's going to take some time for me to get used to it because I actually like the way that this sounds. And I hope that you guys do too. And I hope that I'm coming across a lot more clearly. But this is something that I haven't done and never did myself. I mean, I've been in studios and things like that, and I've heard myself, but other people have been able to control it. So with me having to control it myself, it's It's just interesting. And so it's making me laugh. And I hope that you're enjoying this as well as much as I am. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. I thank you so much for listening to me. You don't have to listen to me. You can talk to anybody else. You can listen to, and there's tons and thousands and hundreds of thousands of podcasts, millions of podcasts out there, millions of people that you can be listening to, but you took your time out to listen to little old me. And I thank you so much for coming. And if no one has told you today, you are awesome. Thank you for joining the Ingy Pink podcast, and I will see you next time.